Good morning, class. Let's start off our day by going over our objectives. Now remember, we have a content objective, or our CO, and our language objective, our LO. So I'm going to read through the content objective, and it states, I will identify the reasons people moved west. I will identify the reasons people moved west. Now I want you to take a few moments and turn to your partner and see if you can paraphrase. Remember, we talked about paraphrasing last week. So paraphrasing means retelling. Let's see if we can retell our content objective to our partners. And I'll give you just a few moments to do that. Awesome. Let's move on to our LO. It reads, I will create a poster convincing people to move west. I will create a poster convincing people to move west. Now, just like we did with our CO, let's turn and talk to our partner and see if we can retell, or what's that word? Paraphrase our LO. I'll give you just a few more moments to do that. Awesome, great job, you guys. So we're going to start off our lesson, our social studies lesson, by watching a quick video. I want you guys to, remember, pay attention with our eyes and our ears and our mouths closed. We're going to watch a video. This is a special video. It is a virtual field trip. So a field trip takes us somewhere new and shows us around, right? So this is going to be a field trip, but because it's virtual, it's going to take place on our computer. Does that sound good? Thumbs up if that sounds good. Awesome. So we're going to watch this quick video, and then we're going to take a few moments to discuss what we learned in the video. Sound good?
People began moving west for many different reasons in the 1800s. Some moved for the adventure, and others moved in hopes of bettering their lives. One major
All right, that was a really awesome video. We got to see everywhere from east to west. Now, the video talked about what? What was the video about? Yes, David? People moving, right? They moved west. So I want you guys to take a few minutes and talk to your groups about maybe a time that you moved, right? Can you raise your hand if you've ever moved? Maybe you moved to a different house or a different school, maybe a different country. So let's turn and talk to our neighbors, and let's discuss some of the things we've experienced. Great, I heard some awesome conversations. Now let's bring it all together. Now I want to ask, would anybody like to share what were some of the reasons that you and your family decided to move, right? Because we don't just move just because. There's usually a reason that makes us move somewhere, right? So what were some of the reasons, Angelica? Your parents got better jobs, right? So if you move somewhere when your parents are going to get a better job, you can get more money, and it's probably a better place to live, right? Alejandro? To get closer to family, right? Family can motivate us, right? We want to be closer. We want to be closer to our family. That motivates us. All right, anybody else? That's fine. So now we're going to move on. We have a PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to take notes. So I want everyone to open up their social studies journal to a next clean page. And like usual, I'm going to be taking my notes up here. So if you're not sure what to write, you can always use myself as a guide. Just remember to always write things that are important to you. Sound good? Thumbs up. Sounds good? Awesome. So our presentation is called Moving West. So I titled my notes Moving West. Moving West. So the first thing we should talk about is westward expansion. That word westward is new. But let me break it down. Westward. Expansion. So if something is westward, what direction? Where do we think this place is? West, right? West is the first word in this compound word, right? Westward, okay? And expansion, expansion. What do we think it means to expand? Well, think expansion, expansion. So if something is westward expansion, which way is it expanding? West, right? So we can think like this, westward expansion, right? Because it was getting bigger and it was moving west. Can we do that? Westward expansion. Awesome. So I might write in my notes, westward expansion. And westward expansion was people's movement in the U.S. from east to the west side. They wanted to move to the western side of the United States. Moving west. And then I might draw a little picture to remind me, what does westward expansion mean? So I might put W and arrows, right? We're expanding. We're getting bigger. Now, we had a reason for moving west, right? One of the first reasons is called manifest destiny. Now, before we even talk about what exactly manifest destiny was, I want you to take a look at this picture. Now, I want you to think in your brain. Are there any symbols, any images that stand out to you? While you think of that, I'm going to start adding it to our notes. But take a look. What looks interesting in that picture? Yes, Alejandra. Oh, so you think that lady's an angel? Who agrees with Alejandra? Right? I agree too. That looks like an angel, right? Now, are any of these people riding cars? No, right? They're riding horses and stuff like that. But I want to go back to this lady. She's an angel. Now, the reason it's important is people during this time thought that God, right, an angel, had given them the right to move west. It was their destiny. Destiny, right? Their destiny to move west, right? So, people thought U.S. people were destined by God to move west. Right? Manifest destiny. Manifest destiny. Right? So God said manifest destiny. God told them that they should move west. I wonder if there were any other reasons. Land. So in this time in the U.S., let's remember, was the U.S. very, very big? No, right? So I only knew the small part in the east side of the U.S. and all of it in the west was empty, was brand new. Nobody lived there, which meant there was a whole lot of land to explore and to eventually live on and farm on, right? So land was a big, what was that word we learned? Motivator for people to move. Land. So during this time, we had what was called the Homestead Act. Let's remember, let's look back. An act is a law. So the Homestead Act, or the law, said that if you were 21 or the head of a household, or if you promised to take care of the land, the government would give you 160 acres. So let's think what do you think it might mean if you're the head of the house? Well, my head's at the top of my body, right? It's the most important part of my body. Well, what do we think the head of the house is then? The most important person in the house, right? It's probably not the little baby. It's probably not the little sister. It's probably the dad, right? The dad or the mom. So, we can say new land to live and farm right? Let's look and find out what other reasons we had. So, like David said, people move because of jobs, which bring you money. They bring you money. So I'm going to use these dollar signs, right? Money was important. So what were some of the ways people could get money back then? Do we think they probably worked at H-E-B? No, I don't think so. So people during this time did 3 major industries. Logging. Now logging has to do with trees, big trees. What are trees made of? What do trees give us? Wood. Do you think it was important for people to have wood? What might they use wood for? Their houses, right? What about if I need to keep warm in the winter? What would I use wood for? For fire, right? So wood was really important. So if you got a job selling and collecting wood, you can make a lot of money. So I'm going to put that in here. One of the reasons was logging. And to remind me what logging is, I'm going to draw a little tree, right? In case I don't remember what logging is, I'll remember tree, wood, money. People also did mining. So what kind of things can we find when we're mining? What would people mine for? What does it mean to mine? Okay, Yika? Oh, you mentioned the word in Spanish, minero. Minero. So, mining is when we dig underground. We dig underground. So, are we going to find flowers underground? No. Are we going to find big old trees underground? No. We're going to find things like coal, right? What would we use coal for? For energy, right? So, do you think coal was important? Because did we have solar power? Did we have wind power? No. So, we used a lot of coal back then. So, mining, I'm going to draw a little shovel. A little shovel. Because people needed to dig underground. Then we also had farming. So, why do you think people farmed? How would that get you rich right now? If I need to go buy some potatoes, tomatoes, and apples, I can just go to Walmart, right? Do you think I can go to Walmart back during westward expansion? No, I don't think so either. So people needed to farm, and maybe they could sell their potatoes, sell their apples, sell the things you need to make bread, right? So I'm going to draw a little piece of corn to remind me people grew food, farming, and sold it. Yes? So I'm going to move this up. Yes. So one important reason people moved to get rich was gold. Gold. So I'm going to write gold big bold letters because that was important. Gold. Right? So, one state that had a lot of gold is California. California. So, in California, they had what was called a gold rush. A lot of people started finding gold in California. Now, when you find a really good sale at Walmart, really good deal, do you tell your friends about it? Do you say, hey, go to Walmart, just go buy this, it's cheap right now, there's a lot of it, right? So people would tell their friends and their family, hey, go to California, there's a lot of gold, you can sell it, you can make a lot of money. So then everybody told their friends, and everybody went to California to go get their gold. It's called a gold rush. When you're rushing somewhere. You're not walking slow, you're going fast. A lot of people went to California to find gold. Does that make sense? Yes? So let's recap. People were moving west in the United States, and this was called westward expansion, right? We expanded west. We expanded west. Now, there were some reasons we expanded west, right? First, we had the manifest destiny. So remember, manifest destiny said that God was telling us that we had to move west, that the U.S. people were destined to move west. People also moved for land, right? Remember, if you were the head of the house, the most important person in the house, you can get a whole lot of land, and that meant you can get new land to live and to farm. What was another reason people moved? Well, we talked about money. Money was super important. So, people made money by logging. So remember, logging for trees, logging for wood, because wood was so important, right? What things could we make with wood? A place to live, fire, awesome. We also mined. We mined underground for what? Coal. And we were farming. Why was it important for us to farm? Let's turn and talk to our neighbors. Why was it important for us to farm? Awesome, right? Because we couldn't just go to the store and buy what we needed, right? We needed farmers. We needed to farm what we needed, or we needed farmers to make us what we needed. And important was gold. Gold was important. And where was all this gold? California. It was in California. Remember the California gold rush? People were rushing over. All right. Awesome job, you guys. Now we're going to create a T-chart, and you're going to help me sort out all the reasons people moved west. All right. So here we have our T-chart, right? And it says that we can have 3 types of major reasons that people moved west, right? We could move because of money, we could move because of religion, and we could move because of land. So let's take a few seconds to talk in our groups, see what are some of the reasons people moved and what category might they fall under. Remember, we just took some notes. So look in your notes and see what kind of reasons people move for money, religion, and land. I'll give you guys a few moments. All right, we've had a few moments to talk to our partners and our groups. So does anybody have anything they want to add to our T-chart? Stephanie. Oh, you think that... Okay, so you remember that the government gave people land, right? Do you remember what that law was called? Homestead Act, right? So the government gave people land. The government gave people land, right? Does anybody else have anything to add? Sebastian? Logging. Okay, we remember what logging is, right? The wood, logging the wood. So, what category would logging fall under? Would anybody like to help out Sebastian? Enrique? Money, right? Can you tell me why you think logging belongs in money? Oh, because wood from trees was important and they could sell it for money. All right. I agree. Do we agree? Thumbs up if you agree. All right, logging. All right, any other reasons we can think about? What about that picture with the angel? Who remembers what that picture was called? What did that represent? I see you doing this. Manifest destiny, right? So, what was important about manifest destiny? Oh, God told us, right? God said that we were destined to move west. All right, any other reasons people can think of? Farming. All right, where would farming fall, Alejandra? Money, right? Do we agree? Thumbs up? Awesome. Farming. Let's get one more. Ricardo? Remember underground? Mining, right? What did people mine for? What did we mine for? Coal, right? Oh, Anna, you had your hand up? Gold. You're right. People moved for gold, right? So where would gold fall under? Gold would fall under money. Gold, money. Awesome. All right. Well, now we're going to move on to our next activity. I want you guys to get into your groups and you're going to help design poster. You're each going to design a poster to try to convince someone to move west. Right? So let's put away our social studies journals to make space while we create our posters.